I've been waiting to get this sneaker for a while now, so there was some anticipation building, and after getting them in hand, I've noticed there's some really interesting things about this pair of shoes, and you know what, this may be one of my favorite sneakers from 2021. So with that bold statement out of the way, let's jump straight into the New Balance 5740 Grey Day. Alright, so we got the box, and this is going to be a very quick, simple unboxing because there's really not much going on here. You get the regular grey New Balance box, you get the size tag if you happen to care about that, but other than that, they keep it clean on the outside. What's inside is what we're here for, and here is the crispy, clean New Balance 5740 Grey Day. New Balance 5740 is actually a relatively new New Balance sneaker model. It only released in 2021, and I did a review on the launch colorway, the first one that released. It was all over white, and it had some really bold kind of rainbow colors on the back. Now that colorway was something that I thought was clean, but it definitely wasn't my favorite, and this is probably my favorite colorway. Now on the release day of these, New Balance actually called it Grey Day, whether that's just a promo thing or whether they'll actually extend this so-called Grey Day into future years of their launches. But yeah, this colorway is called Grey Day, and of course it released on May the 15th, and these retail for £120 here in the UK or $120 if you're out in the US. Now the interesting things about this pair of shoes really start with the materials. I really didn't expect these materials on this pair of shoes. They are completely different from any of the other 5740 colorways, and not only that, but they're different from left to right. So we've seen kind of mismatched colorways on pairs of shoes from right sneaker to left sneaker. However, this one is bizarrely different materials. So as you can see, if you take a look at the top of the shoe around that kind of mudguard toe box area on this left shoe, look how nappy and hairy that suede is. And then take a look at this right one and how much shorter and softer it is. Now that mismatched material also extends to the eye stays with a kind of, again, swap over from the right shoe being a lot more hairy and nappy and the left one being a lot shorter. You also find that around the back of the shoe for this kind of suede material here and up on this darker suede. At first I kind of thought, well, maybe New Balance just couldn't decide which material they liked more, so they just put them both on there. However, New Balance did justify it, and they said it's supposed to represent the runner's past and present in the form of really cool materials. Now, whichever way you go, like, all of the materials on here feel incredibly nice, whether it is the shorter, softer suede or the hairier or nappier suede. It's both very, very good quality. It feels insane in hand. Like, just the general construction of this shoe, like New Balance does a lot of the time, they kill it, and the materials on here are really good. Because of the nicer materials, it kind of justifies the price increase a little bit. As you'll notice, some of the previous colorways of the 5740 have been a little bit cheaper than this one, retailing at about $90 instead of the $120 that they're asking for this one. The tongue is made from extremely soft leather that just folds and bends any way you want it, and I think it just looks super good in that kind of darker gray color. Another thing that I thought felt really great, especially when you're wearing the pair of shoes, is the really nice padded sock liner, and of course the material feels really soft as well. And when you're wearing this, let me tell you, this is an extremely comfortable pair of shoes. This is generally a little bit more of a wider shoe, which definitely contributes to the comfort. I like wider shoes, especially when you're going to be walking around in them for extended periods of time. The midsole feels really nice and squishy, which is something you don't really expect when you just look at it. It just seems like it's going to be a generic cushioning system, which is rather firm when you're walking around in it, but trust me, there's plenty of squish and responsiveness to this midsole. Midsole is pretty interesting. It definitely gives this shoe a very chunky vibe. Like you can see, it almost looks like a double stacked midsole. It also features New Balance's end cap cushioning technology. Now, if you haven't tried on the New Balance 5740 and you're worried about sizing, well, for me, I went true to size with this pair of shoes and it fits me just fine. I would definitely recommend that for anybody who wants to try it out. It's not a narrow pair of shoes, so you shouldn't really have any issues. But hey, that pretty much wraps it up for the New Balance 5740 Gray Day. Let me know what you guys think about this pair of shoes down in the comment section, and like always, I want to thank you guys so much for coming through, hanging out. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.